Hi, Miss Marion here. We are doing Unit 5, Lesson 16. Go back to page 195. Read the I can statement. I can find the missing information of a cone if I know its volume and some other information. Go ahead and write yourself a sentence. Give yourself a number. So 1, I don't remember. 2, I kind of remember it. 3, I do remember it. And 4, I can teach it to my friend. All right, let's go ahead and start out today. Let's go to page 135. For each equation, decide what value, if any, would make it true. Meaning, what can I put in for the letter that is missing to make both sides equal? Go ahead, pause, answer that question, and then come back to me. So let's go ahead and kind of go through this. So I need a number, and I can multiply it by 1/3, or I can divide it by 3. That's going to go ahead and equal to 27. So for H, that first one, right, we're looking at it. So H, I can say that that number is 81. If I do 81 divided by 27, divided by 3, I get 27. Moving on, what number multiplied by itself and then divided by 3 is going to equal 27? So if I take 9 and I multiply it by itself, so that's 81 divided by 3, it's also going to equal 27. Let's move on. Notice how both sides have pi, so I don't have to worry about that. And then I want a number multiplied by 3 or divided by 3 that's going to go ahead and equal 12. Well, if I have 36 divided by 3, is going to equal 12. And then again, the last one, both of them have pi in there, so we can kind of ignore the pi stuff. It's a number multiplied by itself, and then take that and divide it by 3. It's going to equal 12. So if B equals 6, 6 times 6 is 36, divided by that 3, and then we're going to go ahead and get the 12. So all these numbers are the ones that will make both sides true or both sides equal to each other. Let's turn to page 135 through 136. The volume of a cone with a radius r is given by the formula V equals 1/3 pi radius squared height. We did that earlier. The volume of the cone with a height 3 units and a radius of r is V equals 64 pi cubic units. This statement is true, so we have 64 pi equals 1/3 pi radius squared times 3. And what we're looking for is we're going to be looking for the radius. How do we figure out the radius? With this information that's given to us. Go ahead and pause, answer this question, and then come back to me. All right, so what I notice on the right-hand side is I have 1/3 and I have 3. If I do 1/3 times 3, I'm going to get 1. So right now I have 64 pi equals 1 times pi times radius squared. Notice how we have pi's on both sides. So I'm going to kind of get rid of those pi's. I'm going to take pi off of both sides of the hanger or both sides of the equation. So I have 64 equals r squared. So what number multiplied by itself is going to equal 64? Oh, that is 8. So my radius is 8 units. So let's look at page 136. On page 136, we have this graph. We have this table. Notice how we have pieces of information. So we're given radius, height, we have the area of the base, we have the diameter, we have volume, okay? And remember, we're working with the equation V equals 1/3, because it's a cone, multiplied by the base, area of the base, multiplied by height. So area of the base, which is a circle, is pi radius squared. So our equation is V equals 1/3 times pi times radius squared times height. So we're going to be kind of using either equation to go ahead and fill in the rest of this table. And so you will need to go ahead and pause, work through that, and then come back. Make sure you understand this and you know how to do yourself. So pause, and then go ahead and come back to me. All right, here are the answers that you should have had filling in the table. Make sure you check them. Make sure you understand and know how to do this. We'll be having a quiz pretty soon about all of this, so make sure you do understand it. All right, let's go ahead and turn to page 137. It also goes into 138, and it says a movie theater offers 2 containers And then you're supposed to answer the question, which container is better value? Use 3.14 as an approximation for pi. So go ahead and pause, answer that question, and then come back to us. So let's go ahead and go through this. Let's find the volume of the cone popcorn, okay? So we have enough information to go ahead and do that. So remember, down here we have our diameter, but we actually need our radius. So let's figure that out. Remember that our radius is our diameter divided by 2, which would be 6. So our volume, remember, is 1/3 times pi times radius squared times height. Let's put in the information that we know. So we're going to have 1/3 times pi times 6 squared, and then our height is 19. Let's grab our calculator. Remember, we're going to use 3.14 for our pi stuff. So we're going to say 1/3 times 3.14 times 6 squared, and then times 19. And the answer that we get for the volume is going to be 715.92, and then we are doing centimeters cubed. That's our volume. Let's go ahead and do the cylinder. So remember, our cylinder is just pi times radius squared times height. So down on the bottom, as far as for our cylinder, our our diameter is 8. We want to find our radius. So we're going to have 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Let's put the information in. We have pi, we have 4 squared, and then our height is 15. So we're going to have 3.14 times 4 squared times 15, and we get 753.6, and then that's centimeters cubed. Okay, but let's go ahead and figure out how much the cubic centimeter is per dollar. So what we're going to do is, with the cone, we're going to come back and we're going to say, okay, we're going to take the 715.92, that's centimeters cubed. We're going to divide it by 6.75, and that's our dollars. So let's divide that out. 715.92 divided by 6.75. Okay, what is that? That is 106 and we're going to do dollars. So 06, that is centimeters cubed per $1. Okay, so this is the amount that will cost, bringing it down to a dollar amount. Let's go ahead and do that with our cylinder. So our cylinder, we have it as 553.6 centimeters cubed. We're going to divide it by how much it is, which is 625. Divide that out, 753.6 divided by 6.25. And that's going to be 120 point, and then again, we're going to do dollars, so we're going to round it up to 58. And that is the centimeters cubed for $1. So that's for the cylinder. And so we're asking, which container is a better value? That answer will be the cylinder. So if you look at it, we get more in the cylinder versus the cone. So our answer is going to be the cylinder. Okay, if you're a little confused on that, pause and rewind it and then come back and make sure you understand this, because we're going to be doing some of this kind of stuff both on our quiz and our test later on. So as we kind of remember with our volume and our cone, remember the cone is 1/3 times pi times radius squared times height. And so if we wanted to have the same amount, we would go ahead and have to adjust the different amounts. So remember, the cone is 1/3 of the amount of the cylinder. And that's how I kind of remember it, is as far as this association between the cylinder and the cone. But again, remember, the base or the circle has to be exactly the same amount. Go ahead and go back and turn to page 195. Read the I can statement. I can find missing information about a cone if I know the volume and some of the other information. Go ahead and write yourself a sentence. Give yourself a number. So 1, I'm still confused. 2, I kind of got it. 3, I did get it. And then 4, I can teach it to my friend. And again, we are doing practice problems in Canvas. Make sure you get onto those and go ahead and do those. Have a good day. Thank you.